Hi guys, so I'm going to be talking about why the death penalty should not be justified and is just not justice. So to start off, have you ever heard someone say an eye for an eye, like making people equal? A lot of people use this idea to defend the death penalty. They believe that if someone takes a life, they should lose theirs too. At first, that might sound fair, but when you actually really think about it, the death penalty isn't justice. It's actually full of problems that make it unfair, risky, and in some cases, completely wrong. There's people that are tried for things daily that they don't even do, and then they're punished for that. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're killed for that. Like, I feel like that's a bit extreme. And one of the biggest issues with the death penalty is that it can't be undone. There's no going back. If someone is sentenced to life in prison and later proven innocent, they can be released, which is what I was just saying. There's people that are tried and are found, like, not guilty, and then just like that, they can be released. But if someone is executed and then later come to find out that they didn't actually commit the crime, there's nothing anyone can do to fix that. It's permanent. Their families, everything is permanent. There's no going back and just undoing that. And this isn't just like a what if situation. Like, it's actually happened. This has happened before. People have been executed and then later found out they're not guilty. They've already been executed, so there's nothing you can do really. And so, like I was saying, there's been multiple cases where people on death row were later proven innocent through new evidence, like DNA testing. That means that the system can make mistakes, and when the punishment is done, is death, those mistakes become permanent. So, when people, like I just said, when people are killed, they might go, even if it's years down the road, it could be 10 to 20 years later. Like, I was just reading on a case, and come to find out, a guy, I'm into, crime stuff anyways, but I come to find out the guy was executed for, 7 or 8 counts of murder, manslaughter, murder, and then come to find out, it wasn't even him. It was not even him. It was a relative, but it was not him. And that's just, wow, his whole entire family, that's just wow. And another reason the death penalty is unjust is because it isn't applied fairly. Not everyone is treated the same in the justice system. Factors like race, income, and even where the crime happened can affect whether someone gets the death penalty or not. So based on, like it just said, based on race or what crime or how severe they might determine the crime is, how do they determine how severe the crime is? You can't do that. That's not okay. People who can't afford good lawyers are more likely to be sentenced to death. That's insane. Just because someone can't afford the best of the best doesn't mean that they should just be, on the bottom of the totem pole. And at the same time, they can't even defend themselves. They don't have a good enough lawyer, so there's no, hey, I didn't do that. There's no defending. It's just... And there's also been studies that have shown cases involving certain victims are more likely to result in the death penalty than others. Justice is supposed to be equal, but clearly, just like I'm talking about, that's not what's happening here in the justice system across many states. Some people argue that the death penalty prevents crime, that it scares people into not committing serious offenses, but there isn't strong evidence to support that. In fact, many places without the death penalty have similar or even lower crime rates than places that still use it. If it doesn't actually stop crime, then what's the point of using such a serious and irreversible punishment? There's also the issue of cost, which a lot of people, I don't think, really realize. But you might think that executing someone would be just cheaper than even keeping them in prison, because when they're in prison, you have to feed them. They have to, whatever else. They have to have clothes. They have to have all kinds of stuff, when they're in there. But it's actually the opposite. Death penalty cases involve long trials, multiple appeals, and extra legal processes to try to avoid mistakes. So they have to take all these steps into making sure that everything is right. And then each person that works on the case has to have some percentage of payment. I mean, they're not going to do it for free. So then you're having to pay this out. Because, I mean, it's a lot of steps. You don't just walk in one day and you're like, hey, buddy, today's your day. Like, no, that's not how it works. Like, there's steps that have to be taken legally for all this to happen. So all of that, like I just said, costs a lot of money, often more than just sentencing someone to life in prison, because you can just feed them every day and it don't cost that much. So not only is the death penalty risky and unfair, but it's also freaking expensive. You think a lethal injection, that's how they do it most days, that ain't cheap. That just ain't cheap. And then on top of all of that, the death penalty raises serious moral questions. If killing someone is wrong, then how does it become right when the government does it? Like, they killed someone, but we'll kill them. Okay. So it kind of sends a mixed, like, message, really, if you really think about it. Now, I'm also not, like, a horrible person, and, like, I think if someone, for instance, say we have this man and he, like, rapes these little kids, he deserves nothing but the worst, and I think that, like, I agree. But at the same time, I think he should suffer. I don't think he should, because when they do commit a crime like that and they go to jail, they want to be killed. They want their time. They don't want to have to serve that long, like, especially if they're younger. They don't want to have to serve that long. They want to be killed. Like, no, I think they should sit in prison, suffer. And when I say suffer, I mean suffer. Like, suffer. Even murderers suffer. Like, they should suffer. So that's just another big reason. So instead of promoting justice, it can feel more like revenge in this way.